Okay, David. So I would like to know what are the key things to know. What are the key things to know to remove an unconscious victim from the water on a surfboard?
Yeah, drowning is a disease that happens to go in 0.5% to an unconscious situation. When that happens, the problem is that the breathing part stops first and the heart still beating. So you have a window of opportunity to make a difference in that situation, which is if you do this, if you do the ventilation in the water, you still have the opportunity to bring a live victim to the shore. If you instead choose to only do a ventilation on the shore, probably this kind of victim will be in cardiopulmonary arrest, which is the prognosis is totally different. For example, for a victim that you can restore the respiration in the water, you have 300% more chance of a good outcome than if you do this on the shore.
Okay, so it's very important to do this in-water ventilation.
Yes.
Every surfer, you think, should know it.
Yeah, I think every surfer should know it, but it's not a easy technique, and this has some kind of rules that the safety of the surfer comes first. So you only have to do that if it's safe for the surfer. So you can do it in a small waves. You can do if you can move the victim to a sandbar. You can do if you have with another body that can help you out, but never if your safe is in danger.
Okay, talk a little about the technique. On a longboard or on a shortboard, we have filmed you,
Yes.
so we know how to do that, but explain a little the technique to put the victim on the board to do this ventilation or to rescue this victim to the shore.
Yeah, things change about this technique to put the victim on the board. And why is the change? The change is based on the principle that ventilation first is more important than to put the victim on the board. So to remove the victim from the water is less important than to ventilate the victim first. So we try to improve our technique and not use anymore the flip the surfboard. Instead of that, we choose to ventilate first and then pull the victim on and put it on the board on the surfboard. Of course, you can do this on a longboard, on a shortboard, or on a bodyboard.
Okay, so you practice it in Brazil. Do you learn this kind of skills in Brazil? And can you tell us about that?
Yeah, the thing is, when we find that ventilation was too important and should be done in the water, we skip from this flip-flop technique and start to understand how we can do this without getting the victim in the water again after blowing in. The problem with the flip-flop is exactly that you blow in, you restore the ventilation, and then you put the victim inside the water to put it on the board. That's not what we wanted. So we take two or 3 days practicing different techniques until we get on this new one.
Okay, so in Brazil, lots of surfers know this technique or not enough? You've got a problem in Brazil with drowning?
Yes, we have a lot of problems. Surfer has a lot of help, and for example, in September we already did 6 or 7 courses with surfers around the country, which more than 350, maybe 400 surfers, instructors. Of course, this is not an easy technique. You have to practice. You don't learn at the first to how to use the smartphone. You have to practice. It's the same with the surfboard. You have to practice. You have to feel comfortable. And if you move from a short to a longboard, a little things change because flotation change, and so you have to be comfortable. You have to keep your balance, and it's the important thing.
Okay, David. So, do you want to thank your association or talk about it? In Brazil, you do it with Surfboard. That's it.
Yeah, well, we have from now we have 20 years old of association. We have from 27 states. We are in 25 states right now doing some life-saving course with Pool More Safe campaign with the surfers in rivers and schools, and we think that on the drowning chain of survival, the prevention is the priority.
Okay.
So we have to highlight those prevention.
Okay, so thank you very much, David, for coming here on the Basque Coast and to teach your skills. Hope to see you soon and maybe in Brazil.
Yeah, sure. I thank you.